हे वेलकम वंस अगेन एक और पॉडकास्ट में आप सभी का स्वागत है। आज के जो गेस्ट है अनंत गुप्ता, ही इज अ co-founder of Gromi Organic. It's a email scrapper tool and mail sequencing tool just like Apollo, Lucia and Hunter, and it's doing really great. तो आज इस पॉडकास्ट में हम ये बात करने वाले हैं कि SaaS कंपनी कैसे बिल्ड की जा सकती है, क्या उसके पर्क्स है, कैसे आप ऑर्गेनिकली ग्रो कर सकते हैं जस्ट लाइक नेम। एंड ये पॉडकास्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो अगर आपको अपना SaaS कंपनी स्टार्ट करना है, एक स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट करना है, तो यू हैव टू लिसन दिस पॉडकास्ट। नाउ लेट्स गो टू पॉडकास्ट। यस, सो अनंत, लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ योर इंट्रोडक्शन। क्या कर रहे हो आप, क्या नहीं कर रहे हो? लेट अस शेयर समथिंग अबाउट दैट।
Yeah, sure. I'm really excited to be in this podcast. I am a founder of a SaaS company known as Gromi Organic, which I started back in 2019 as a Instagram email scraper, which is a completely different niche. But that at that point in time, we got into some issues, and we had to pivot it to full-fledged lead generation software, which is Grow Me Organic, your email finder and cold email software today. So yeah, and Grow Me Organic is the software which has been featured on one of the biggest cold email masterclass by Daniel Fazio. So it has got a lot of traction from the cold email industry.
Perfect, Anant. I wanted to go back on your starting journey, right? So you started with the email scripter for Instagram, right?
Yes, yes.
So basically, LinkedIn का email scraper हम लोगों ने बहुत देखा हुआ है. There are a couple of tools who are doing for LinkedIn, but why you started with Instagram? What was the need of that?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So back in 2019, when I started this Instagram email scraper, there was hardly any Instagram scraper in the market. There was barely any tool out there in the market. So the need for Instagram email scraper was that what you could do with the emails from Instagram is that you can scrape someone's follower. Let's say you follow. There's a huge following for Gary Vee, right? Everyone is following Gary Vee. He have like millions of followers today. What we can do with that is that we can scrape the email IDs of their followers, and then we can build a custom audience on top of it, and we can target them
Hmm.
on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, like all those places, because what we have is their email which they have given on Instagram, and that's exactly what we need to map them when we are building our custom audience. So that was
Hmm.
one need, and another reason why Instagram email scraper was quite helpful is because when you're doing cold outreach, right, everyone knows about like LinkedIn email scraper, but the competition for people who are reaching out on Instagram, especially through emails, was too less. In fact, when I started promoting my own software, I was sending cold emails, by scraping emails from Instagram. So, what I did back then is I scraped everyone who was using very generic keyword. That time I had no clue about whom to target, what's this niche. So I just targeted like hashtag digital marketing, and I started sending emails to everyone. Hey, look, I scraped your followers, your followings, your name, your industry, everything. Right? Just look at this. This email is very personalized and it has all the information about your Instagram profile, and you can do the same by scraping anyone's audience. So that's my pitch when I started doing cold emails. So yeah, I mean that's how I started promoting. I started promoting my own software using my own software. So
Yeah, great. I mean, you are showing the use case, and then you are mentioning like this is the capability of my software, so you should also use it, and that's a great strategy. Okay, Anand, I also wanted to know why you stop it. Like क्या हुआ था, क्यों बंद कर दिया? And is there any other solution which is already there for Instagram scrapping?
yeah, I'll tell you. So when I started Instagram email scraper, there was only one single competitor, which was a very like old school kind of software, has a lot of bugs, very glitchy. It was a desktop application, and it used to lag a lot, and the pricing was even very high because there was no other player, and the market needed a player who could just come and disrupt. And this is when Gromi Organic came in, because that time literally there was a single desktop application which was leading the entire market. And then Gromio Organic came with a concept. It was a very interesting concept. uh, what you need to scrape emails from Instagram is a Instagram account. Like, you need their login ID and the password. You can use your own login ID and password, which is something that we never recommended. So you get a, a satellite Instagram account, a secondary Instagram account, that you put it inside Gromio Organic. You put the credential inside Gromio Organic, and you can start scraping. And then what we introduced later is that we started allowing people to connect more Instagram accounts, not just one, right? So you could like import literally hundreds of thousands of Instagram accounts, which could literally speed up your number of emails that you're scraping, right? And you can have your proxies connected so that nobody's going to find out where exactly you're scraping it from. So I remember that time when Gromio Organic Instagram email scraper was there, people were literally scraping like hundreds of thousands of emails a day. They were
Mm.
scraping this volume of email, and they had this software on cloud VPS, because it was a desktop app. It was not a SaaS application. It used to be a desktop app. So they bought a Windows VPS server and they used to host it over there, and they were scraping hundreds of thousands of emails a day. And a lot of influencer marketing agency companies that you see today have once used Chromio Organic to build their databases, right? I
Mm.
mean, you name it, whatever Instagram influencer company that exists today has once used Chromio Organic to build their database.
Mm.
So we were that big back then, because we literally had no competition, and the pricing was $29 a month. We had no upsells or nothing like that, right? Straight up $29 a month. It was like a no-brainer deal for anyone. And the reason why I was able to afford to have this kind of pricing, is because I was a solo guy. It was a one-man show, so I had no server cost. It was a desktop application, so
Mhm.
it was pretty easy for me to have this kind of pricing. And we got a really good traction. I would say, in 6 months we were able to hit around $10,000 MRR. And this is when there was a guy called as Daniel Fazio, right? He's known
Mhm.
as one of the biggest cold email influencer. He have this course called as Cold Email Masterclass. He promoted Gromio Organic in his course, so it got a really huge traction. A lot of people started using Gromio Organic back then. But then what happened is that Instagram and Facebook, I mean, they both are same companies, but they got to
Meta.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, Meta got to know about that this is something which is happening. Because
Mhm.
that time when you used to search for, uh, there was a keyword on Google, extract email from Instagram, right? And we were ranking number one for that keyword. Or
Mm.
extract followers from Instagram, something like that. All the scraping kind of keywords, we were ranking number one. So it got the attention of Facebook and Instagram, and they hired a legal company to send us a legal notice to take it down. This is when, in a single day, when we were doing close to around 10 to 15,000 dollar MRR with a one man company, I had to shut it down. So yeah,
Mm.
that was the story. That's when I had to stop it.
Pretty sad, pretty sad. But then you shifted this entire focus from Instagram to LinkedIn and other mail tools, right?
Yes, so post that I took a 6 month of break from whatever I was doing, because I needed to take some time to understand what else can I do. I already
Mhm.
had learning in this space. I already knew that people were using it for cold emails, and then because of Daniel Fazio, who promoted this platform on his course, I got a massive traction on Gromio Organic, a huge audience base on Gromio Organic, who were interested in sending cold emails, right?
Mm.
So this is when I thought I already have the audience. I already uh, know how to cater to these kind of people. I already know that there are a couple of other products that I can sell them, because they have the interest in this niche. And this is what we did. So post 1.5 years, I started, Grow Me Organic as a full-fledged lead generation and cold email software, where
Perfect.
where we allow people to scrape emails from LinkedIn and multiple other website, and then send them cold emails.
Perfect. And when you are transitioning from Instagram to a proper lead generation tool, right? What
Mhm.
was running in your head? Like why? I really wanted to understand the mindset of any founder who's starting SaaS. Though it was not SaaS back then you shifted to SaaS, right? What is the exact mindset and what kind of thoughts was running that once I have failed now, I got a legal action, right? It could be anything. Luckily, you got out from it, but it could be in a long kind of legal fight and all, right? So, what was the thought behind starting a SaaS company?
Yeah, so when I started Grow Me Organic, post 6 months, I realized that this is not going to survive for a very long time. I knew it because I heard about other stories where people had to shut down their company in the same space where they were either scraping something or they were automating something. So I knew that someday I'll have to switch. I'll have to like take a call, right? That's the kind of mindset that I already had back then. Second is, I already saw there was a drop. Like, I would when I was just about to get the legal notice, just a month ago, I already saw a drop in the usage of the platform because Instagram got a lot more strict. They, made their API even more strict. I remember I once introduced a feature which actually shook Instagram algorithm back then, because what we did is is we allowed people to scrape data from Instagram without any Instagram accounts, because that's the biggest challenge, right? You have to create an Instagram account, so you have to like find people who could create those Instagram accounts, then you have to set up your proxies, and then you could scrape emails, and then after a week or a month, that Instagram account is going to be dead, so you'll have to buy more. You have to keep buying more Instagram to keep scraping it. That's the model that we used to have. But I remember once I figured out a way where we could scrape without using Instagram, without using Instagram accounts, is when people started scraping, like everyone started scraping millions of emails because they already had this infrastructure, and they got to know that they no longer have to use Instagram account. And then someone from Daniel Fazio team, posted it on Twitter that Grow Me Organic is soon going to launch a version where you don't have to use Instagram email scraper. And the community of cold emailers, growth hackers, they are like pretty heavy on all these kind of stuff. So when they saw
Hmm.
the opportunity, all of them jumped into it. And then Instagram literally had to change their algorithm. Before I launched this feature, you could see someone's Instagram profile from an incognito tab, right? But the moment I launched this feature, in just 48 hours of time, Instagram had to change the algorithm where you can no longer see anyone's Instagram profile from your incognito tab. And
Hmm.
that persisted for like 6 months. I don't know. Maybe right now you could now see someone's profile from incognito tab, but one of the reason why Instagram had to do this is because of me. I
Hmm.
launched it. I made it open for everyone, and everyone abused it so much that they had to do it.
Uh, Perfect. I now back to that story, right? Grow Me Organic. What exactly you guys are doing right now? What happening there? How much your big team is, and what you guys are pursuing right now?
So, like I just said, just 1.5 years later, I started Grow Me Organic as a lead gen and a cold outreach software, where it's like a hunter alternative or like a Apollo alternative, where you could scrape someone's email from LinkedIn and you could send them cold emails, that drip sequence, all that stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis. So that's what we started because we know there's a market for that. But I personally had no experience in this space because I became a accidental entrepreneur. when I started Instagram email scraper, it was just a side project which I started, got a lot of traction, and then I pivoted to something else. So I knew that there's a demand for it, but I didn't know like what kind of people would be interested in this kind of thing, right? I knew
Hmm.
that there are players which exist, Apollo. There's so many companies that exist. So what we just did that time is we just copied what they had that time, right?
Hmm. So
But mhm,
so you just copied their features and then you launch your own software, which lower cost, right?
at a lower cost, yeah. Basically, what we did is we made it unlimited. So they had a cap on number of emails you could scrape, and we made it unlimited. You could scrape just unlimited emails from it. It was like that.
Hmm. Hmm. And what kind of people? I mean, not exactly these all are salespeople, right? What kind of which country is using your tools mostly? Is it India, US, EMENA?
India, I think I would say 15% of our customer base is from India, but majority comes from US, Australia, UK, Canada. So most of the topmost country is the user of Grow Organic right now.
Okay, and these
Because
all leads are coming organically.
yes, so back then when I started Instagram Scraper, then also everyone was coming organically, no paid ads. And right now also, we have never paid for ads. So all of them are coming organically.
Hmm. Hmm. So these all are organic sales, and so you don't have any sales team so far, right?
We do have, so we don't have a sales team who do a outreach and all those things, because it's a
Hmm.
really like a low ticket product, $99 per month. What would you give as an incentive to your sales team for that, right?
Right.
So what we just did is, uh, we have built a organic machine through which we are getting these kind of qualified leads every single day, and they can book a demo call with us, right? So we
Okay.
have one or two person who's taking care of the demo calls if someone needs that. However, we made the software in such a way which is already self explanatory, so not a lot of people opt for the demo call. They straight up sign up for the trial. I send them lead nurturing emails. They get educated from there, and they sign up for the paid subscription. That's how it works right now.
Hmm. So basically, you just have a workflow which getting automated leads for you, and there are one or two people, right? Uh, Okay, Anant, I also wanted to understand that first project was solo entrepreneurship, right? You was the only person, right? Right now, also you have two or three teammates, right, who are doing sales, and you are generating good numbers, right?
Mhm.
How important it is to have a linear team or maybe a smaller team? Is it like is it good or maybe you don't need it? What exactly the mindset to have a smaller team?
Yes. So see, when I had my first business, which was doing like $15,000 a month, which is pretty good for me as a solopreneur, because I was not paying anyone, right? All of it goes to my pocket, and the like the margins were pretty thick. It was like 95% of margin, right? It just goes on server cost. 5% of it goes on server cost. Then I was like quite happy with that business model, because uh, I I had no employees. I could like travel wherever I want. That kind of thing was pretty cool for me. But I realized that whenever there is a crisis, I had to take care of it all alone. Second is, there was no consistent growth channel for the Instagram email scraper. Now I realize, if I had a team, if I would have hired a team back then, I could have easily scaled it to 50, 60,000 dollars a month. That time I could have literally like abused it with my team, by putting more content, putting more automation processes in place. I could have literally abused it, but now I mean, that's a journey. That's when I was just getting started in the space. So I would say solopreneur journey is definitely not a really good journey for me. Is not something that I enjoy. Even though I was making good money, I didn't really enjoy it back then. Today, now when I have a team of 14 people, yes, it's a lean team, but I really enjoy working with these guys, because we know that today, whichever revenue we are doing right now, we can easily scale that in a certain period of time. Over 1 year, over 5 year, I have a clear projection of how we can, scale this, and how I can, get myself out of the business. Back then I was taking care of content, I was writing the content myself, I was, taking care of the support, so it was pretty hectic, right? But when I hired my first employee, I realized that, I have to give a cut of my income. So that mindset was a freelancer, right? So I have to give a cut of my income to someone. But things started getting easier for me when I hired people, right? They were taking care of the SEO, they were taking care of sales, and now we have a full-fledged product team as well. So we have an in-house development team as well, which is who's working on the second version of Grow Me Organic, which we'll be launching really soon. So
Hmm.
having a team of 14 people, I think that's a great way to, like, scale your business. We still work remotely. We don't have a office yet. We have a certain, like, revenue targets in place. Until then, we are not going to be renting any expensive workplace. But yeah, it's kind of uh, it's kind of better for me to have a team in place, even though I have to pay them salary. I have to, every first date of a month, I have to make sure that everyone's salary gets credited. So that's kind of a burden which I have been running away from a very long time. But moving from a solopreneur mindset to a mindset where you want to build a full-fledged, sustainable, long-term business, which can then be acquired by someone else, you have to have these kind of system in place.
Hmm. True, true. So your plan is like you wanted to sell it out and you wanted to get a exit, right?
I mean, not anytime soon, but definitely
Okay.
the long-term
I
vision.
okay. I also wanted to know when you were competing with this international companies like Apollo, Hunter, or Zoom Info, right? What is the
Mhm.
specific challenge you face? Is it like how this works?
So I'll tell you. So the thing is that, see, if you look at Apollo, Lucia, like all these players in the market, all of them have a low ticket price, right? All of them have a subscription fees which starts at $39, $49, $99 a month, right? So you can't really have a sales team who's gonna, like, do cold outreach to bring clients. You can't do that because that's
Yes.
not sustainable. That's not
Yeah.
affordable at all, right? You know how much effort goes into building an infrastructure for cold emails. You will have to buy multiple domains. You will have to have your, you will either have to set up your own VPS SMTP server or a Google Workspace, DKIM, DMARC. A lot of things goes in place when you have to launch a cold email. Then you have to make sure that the replies are taken care. You have to continuously follow up, chat with the person. And is it really worth converting them for a $99 a month? Not, absolutely not, right? So the only way to scale a SaaS business, which is as low ticket as, $99 a month or something like that, is to work on organic methods.
Hmm.
So with Apollo, the biggest challenge with these kind of players is that they are all well funded. Snowview, Lucia, Apollo.io, they're all well funded. Also, we got a lot of investment opportunities. We got a lot of offers for even, like, selling the company. We never took that, but because they are so well funded, they can easily bid on really good paid keywords, right? The keywords for which, it costs up to $20 to $25 per click. There are keywords which cost $25 a click. I know there are keywords which are even more expensive, and these guys are, like, burning money on these kind of keywords to acquire all the, leads possible. So the only
Hmm.
way for us to survive in this market was to build an organic channel where we could rank for those kind of keywords. So yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, it took me, like, back then I had a different strategy. I used to, like, post on channels like Quora, which we can come into later when we dig deeper on the acquisition models. But back then, we've been getting a lot of traffic from Quora. But today, we have built a system, and we have built a domain authority for our website where we rank for really good and important keyword for us, and these are like high intent commercial keywords which we target. We have something for our marketing team. We have something called as North Star keyword, right? The keywords that we actually want to rank for. So everyone knows that what are the North Star keywords for us, right? And we only focus on getting backlinks for those keywords, writing more content for those kind of keywords, building topical authority for those kind of keywords. So yeah, I mean, it took us like more than 2 to 3 years to build that kind of authority in that space, and now we are able to get a good amount of leads from there.
Can you go deep in this, like what exactly you did and what is backlinking? So can you explain a little bit about backlinking and what exactly you did for an organic uh, outcome?
Yeah, so this is again something which I would have never shared if it was like if you've been asking me like 2 years ago, because that's like one of the primary channel for us to get leads. But today this no longer works, so I don't mind sharing it. This might work for other SaaS companies today, but back then Quora used to rank for a lot of our keywords, lot of useful keyword for us. So we identified those kind of keywords which where Quora is ranking on the first page, and Quora was getting a lot of traffic because of that, right? So what we did is we planted a lot of answers on Quora, right? Like if we knew that this Quora answer is getting like 500 monthly traffic, right? We will plant so many answers over there that someone who is opening that Quora answer would only see Grow Me Organic everywhere. So that's like the initial stage where I built the acquisition channel. Even for Instagram email scraper, I did the same strategy. I took it to $10,000 a month with just like writing on Quora, and I did the
Hmm.
same for LinkedIn. But last year is when we realized that Quora no longer ranks for our keywords. So it's it's good that we pivoted to the organic model at the right time. Because if we would
Hmm.
have stick to Quora for a very long time, we would have lost all our traffic today, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, we continue. Like I remember, I was spending like $1,000 to $2,000 a month back then, just on planting more content, not on Quora, but like on our own blogs and getting backlinks. Yes, like that's a little budget when you compare it with big players like Lucia, Snovio. They spend a lot on content marketing. But yeah, I mean, that time we were spending this much just so we could build a little bit of authority in this space, and we could at least rank for 5 North Star keyword which we rank for today. And these are like all these keyword have like a CPC of 20 to 30 dollars per click, but we get free traffic from all over the place
Hmm.
for all these keywords.
So basically, you were saying that whatever content you were writing on Quora or some other two mediums, right? It was focusing on those keywords which you are ranking on, via Quora, right? So that's how you're getting the traction.
Yes, we planted a lot of answers on Quora back then. We like literally exploited Quora, and that's something which a lot of our competitors were doing. But
Hmm.
but again, since they had more budget to spend on paid ads and on organic content, they were not like majorly focusing on Quora, because for them, even the traffic that they would get from Quora would be like a piece of cake for them. It'll be like 5% of traffic for them, for Lucia, Apollo, Zoom Info, like those kind of big players, right? But for us as a startup, it was a huge amount of traffic, right? So,
Hmm.
like biggest learning for any SaaS company who's just getting started is to figure out that one single channel, which might not be really worthy for the big players, but it can at least get you in the battleground, right? It can at
Hmm.
least start getting you a little bit of traction, little bit of traffic. So Quora is when we got to know that this is the only place where we can play and win, because not a lot of people are putting a lot of efforts. We like abused it back then, and today
Hmm.
it's no longer working. So another learning was that while you're doing all these growth hacking tactics, you cannot really rely on it for long term, because these are not your properties, right? Quora is someone else's property. They can take down your answer, anything can happen. So you have to build a system which can like consistently bring you more leads. And then we
Perfect.
realized we have to focus on SEO, which was a long
Hmm.
term strategy for us.
Hmm. So let's get back to your company name, Grow Me Organic, right? How
Mhm.
anyone can grow organic with your tool?
So Grow Me Organic is actually has nothing to do with growing organically with the tool. Why I named this tool as Grow Me Organic is because I started this company as a Instagram automation platform, right?
Okay.
I told you a story of Instagram email scraper, but the story
Right.
was even before that when I used the Instagram automator. So Instagram profile automator, where you could like put your Instagram credential and automate your Instagram, and it'll organically like grow your followings. I did this experiment for an Instagram page where I grew a Instagram page from 0 to 10,000 in a span of 3 months by automating everything, like automating follow, unfollow, commenting on other people's post and like those kind of things. So everyone who started following me, it was not my profile. Basically, this was an experimental profile known as amateurs album. That profile still exists if anyone wants to check out. I no longer like handle this profile, but yeah, so amateurs album was the profile that I created, and it was a like a portfolio profile for photographers, right? So everyone was coming there to get their picture featured over there, and I got like 10, 15,000 followers, and I was sharing tips on how you could grow your Instagram. And someone said, hey, how did you grew your followings from 0 to 10,000 so fast, like so quickly? So I told them, I'm using a software, I'm using a script to do it. So they told me that, would you sell this to me? So it is when the idea came and I built my software. It was back in 2018, I think, when I was in my college, when I built this software. It was I told you, right? It was a side project that I built, and the name of the software was Grow Me Organic, because idea
Hmm.
was increase your followings.
So you kept the name, and then like everything else has happened, right?
I kept the name. Yeah.
So okay, back to again that question: how anyone can grow? Let's not talk about organic, but yeah, how anyone can grow with your software?
So see, basically the software is in the cold email space, right? Where you could like find someone's email and send them cold emails, and there's a lot of use case for this software. Most people associate this kind of software only with the sales use case, but you know what, cold email is not meant for sales for everyone, right? I mean,
Hmm.
in your industry, I know the company that you work for, and cold emailing make sense for you,
Right.
right? Makes sense for you to do cold emails. But
Right.
not everyone would have a use case to send cold emails. But you don't have to do cold emails just for getting sales.
True.
There are a lot of use cases we personally do cold emails to get backlinks, right?
Hmm.
We are sending like hundreds of thousands of emails a day, reaching out to other website owners to get backlinks for our website, right? And what are we
Hmm.
doing? We are sending cold emails and we are following up with them if they don't reply. That's one way. Second is you can do influencer outreach, right? So we reached out to a lot of blog owner, and trust me, we cracked deals that are still consistently getting us qualified leads, right? We got
Hmm.
influencers who posted about our software on their page as top 10 email finder, right? And traffic comes from that page, because that page literally ranks on the first page, right? So we are getting good amount of traffic, and those people are converting into our paid customers. So the use case of cold email is huge, right? Everywhere, whenever you talk business, there's a communication which is needed, and follow up is a must, right? Even if you want to get a job, you have to, do a follow up. So yeah, I mean, there's a pretty vast use case for us. We don't sell Grow Me Organic by sending cold email. I did this for the Instagram email scraper, but what we do today is the influencer outreach. We do partnership with a lot of website owners. We also try to reach out. We have also started reaching out to the YouTube influencers as well. Second is we, yeah,
Okay, why you're not reaching out to me?
I'll have to
Okay.
ask. Yeah, and
Okay.
then we were doing backlink. Backlink is the most important thing for you to build your domain authority and rank for the keyword that you want to rank for.
Can you explain backlink, please? Please explain backlink. What is this? Like, क्या है ये?
Backlinks, right? So if I explain this to someone who have no clue about marketing, like someone who is a tech savvy person who have built their SaaS company but have no clue about what backlink is basically, uh, backlink is when someone mention your website in their website. For example,
Hmm.
you are xyz.com and I am growmeorganic.com, and when you mention growmeorganic.com on your website, you have given me a backlink, right?
Hmm.
Now, why backlink are so important? The moment you give me a backlink, the moment you mention my website on your website, you're telling Google that I trust this website, pass little bit of my authority to this website. If Forbes mention my website on their website, right, they have like domain authority of 90 plus, and if they mention our website on their website, my domain authority will spike up because Google knows it's a trustworthy website, and they have mentioned Grow Me Organic on their website, so I can trust Grow Me Organic as well. So the more backlinks you can get from relevant niche, this is again very important. You can't like just get backlink from anywhere. You can't get backlinks from by like spamming different places, by spamming comments and those kind of places. For getting backlink, is important for you to reach out to the authentic and um, relevant website. So if you have a website which is into sales or SaaS or B2B marketing or stuff like that, and if you mention my website, that has some level of relevance, right? And it's not just gonna give me that authority, but if someone reads your article and they click on that link, it's also gonna tell Google that people are actually interested in looking at what Grow Me Organic is. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean that's how backlink helps a lot. And what we built with Grow Me Organic is a system through which we were getting like 15 backlinks a week, right?
Hmm.
Usually, a backlink in this space, especially in the SaaS space, cost you anywhere around $150 to $200 per backlink, right?
Hmm.
And we built an in-house system where we are able to get it for free because how we get backlinks, again this is our secret sauce, but how we get backlink is we reach out to people and we tell them that we are going to write a guest post for you for free, and we can assure that the guest post is going to be a really like high quality article. You're not going to get a AI written article because today everyone is exploiting, even the content writers are not giving you the quality article that you're looking for. So guess what, we will give you a high quality article, and in return what we want is a backlink to our website.
Hmm.
Yes, a lot of people deny, but we don't care about them, because when you're sending like hundreds of emails a day, right, you will definitely get people who would be willing to do, who would be
Hmm.
willing to give you a backlink. And in fact, we got a lot of people just because we wrote good article for them, good content for them. A lot of people reached out to us in the future, telling that hey, hi team, would you like to do a one more post? We are happy to give you one more backlink if you can write one
Hmm.
more post. So
That's
yeah,
really
that's how.
interesting. I mean, so I can understand that, for growing organically. you have to work more on a kind of content and writing content, generating content, whether it's a writing on Quora or whether it's a writing on websites or blogs or whatever it is. This is how you're getting the back things, right? So it's a more sort of content game, not in a kind of lead generation and pushy sales which most of the people do, right?
Yes, like you can't afford to do it, especially when you have a low ticket product, right? You can't really afford to do this.
Hmm.
Um, there's only three options that you have when you're just starting as a SaaS company, right? One is that you do organic. You have to have that kind of patience to do it, right? Do organic. Second is you do paid ads, which most people are not going to be able to afford it when they are getting started. Again, like no stereotypes over here, but when I started, I had no money to afford this kind of budget, which was like $15 to $20 per click, right? For a qualified, not even a qualified lead, for a qualified click, we had to pay $15 to $20, right? So paid ad is pretty expensive. And third would be you run a lifetime deal, right? This is something which is quite popular among people right now. So
Hmm.
lifetime deal, when you run lifetime deal, it gives you like a little bit of budget to play around with the marketing in the future, and also invest back in the development of the product.
Mhm. I would also like to know about the GTM, right? How you make sure that your GTM is good, you are launching in a new industry or maybe new country, how that works, what kind of steps you take.
So, see, today, one of the hottest go-to market for most of the SaaS founder is definitely lifetime deal, right? A lot of SaaS founder today do that. In fact, I know people who are already in this space from a very long time, who have MRR customer. They also do LTDs. Snowview is a big competitor of ours, and they also did LTDs on marketplaces like AppSumo. So uh, I'll tell you about one of my friend. Right, he launched. I'm not going to tell his company name, but he launched. He had a good product idea, right, in the SEO space, and he launched a product on AppSumo, right? And this product did roughly around $500,000 in 3 months, right? So they got a good amount of money from there, post like refund and everything, right? They got $500,000 from AppSumo. But since AppSumo does have a split, they usually keep like 60/40, 80/20, based on how you can negotiate with these kind of marketplaces. So these guys, I mean, my friend got paid around $200,000, which was good enough money for him to invest back in the product. $200,000 in India would be around 1.5 crores or somewhere around that, in a span of 3 months. So I think it's a good amount of money for you to like hire a full-fledged marketing team, or whatever kind of a team that you want to build, without raising investment from an investor, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, that's a power of launching a lifetime deal. But yes, when you're launching LTD, you're giving there's definitely a trade-off that you will have to give away a lot. There's no MRR coming from there, and in the future you'll have to bear the cost. So if you are not able to sustain the business, if you're not able to get MRR in like 6 months or in next 1 year, right, then you are also carrying the baggage of those people whom you have bought your LTD. So
Right, right.
you should also like take care of, when you're launching an LTD, that you have kept a good margin for yourself, so that even without getting a MRR customer, and like while you're building the product, you're able to like sustain this business for next 2 years. That's what my friend did. He can still sustain the business for next 2 years. He had that runway right now.
Right, right. Anand, I have two last questions. The first, how anyone can pursue any idea, and that to know that there are so many crowd out there in that domain. Like, look at your product, right? There are so many big players, but still you are pursuing. You are doing good numbers. You are going ahead, and you are competing with them. How and you can make sure that this is a good idea and they can pursue.
See, what I would say, someone who's just getting started in the space, just go to these marketplaces like AppSumo, Product Hunt. Like if you have no idea, right? If you already have an idea, good for you. You can pursue from there and you can take it to these kind of marketplaces. But if you have no idea where to get started with, just go to AppSumo or Product Hunt and find the top selling, best selling products, right? That'll give you ideas of different niches, like the hot selling niches for SaaS today, right? So when you'll go to AppSumo and you'll go to best selling, like there's an option where you can filter the softwares by, best selling. When you get a list of softwares which are best selling, you will find that okay, there's a good amount of people who are uh, selling email marketing software or SEO software. You'll get a good clarity on that, and I would say whichever interests you the most, whether it's email marketing, SaaS, or, SEO, or any kind of space, just pick one. Start building a prototype, a MVP with a small team, a team which you can either hire full time or you can hire have freelancers. But there is definitely a trade off. If you're not a developer, do not get into that stuff. It's better you hire an agency for that. And if you already have a tech team, then good for you. You don't have to like think about all of this. So yeah, like pick that specific niche that you want and just go to a marketplace. That's the best advice I would give. See, my advice would depend on people to people, and like on what kind of stage they are in right now. But for someone who have no clue on how to get started with this, I would say just like build a product which is already trending on marketplaces, launch there, raise a little bit of money. Like you can easily if your product gets that kind of traction, you can easily raise around $500,000, where definitely they're going to keep a cut. And you have like let's say 1 year of runway to uh, further build and develop the product, and you hire smarter people to pursue it further. That's
That's
my go-to idea for anyone who's just getting started.
hmm. Now the last question is like, if anyone already get the traction, right? How they can scale it? Like, what exactly they should do to scale it more?
You have to build a long-term asset. So a long-term asset like SEO, building a system that understands how much money you put in to bring one customer. If you have a system that like where that if I put $1 and I'm getting a customer of LTV $3, right? I'm just giving an example, right? If you're spending $1, I'm getting a customer who have an LTV of $3. That is the way to go. So long term is that you spend money on building your SEO. That's the best thing that you can do for your SaaS company, because today we don't have to take sales calls because we get these leads organically. And you won't believe we have clients from Google, Oracle, Microsoft, Amazon. We never had a call with these people. It's a low ticket product. One of their employee, were searching for one of our keyword. They saw the product, they subscribed for it, and we never had to talk to them, right? So
Hmm.
if your game in SEO is strong, you can literally get really good client without worrying so much about it. Otherwise, you'll have to have a sales team who have to follow up, who'll have to take care of the queries and a lot of things that goes into the place. We also are into that paid ad kind of a thing with a different product that we recently launched. So there we know that we have to take care of them a lot, like support, and it's a lot of headache as of now. But in long term, I know that that system will translate into something really solid. And yeah, we will like no longer have to worry so much about that in future.
Hmm.
But
That's really nice. That's really nice. Thank you so much, Anand, for sharing all those insights, and it was great talking to you.
likewise, Pratik, I mean, I've been following you from a very long time, and I have been waiting for a time to catch up with you. Not like this, but I really want to meet you in person. So whenever you're in Mumbai, just let me know, we can catch up. Or if I ever come to Noida, you're in Noida, right?
Right, Delhi NCR Noida.
Delhi, yeah, I will definitely catch up with you.
Sure, sure. And thank you for sharing all those insights, and our viewer are going to get so many benefit from this conversation. Thank you so much, Anand.